Hi guys, it's Megan with Nerd Initiative, and today we're going to talk about all the Easter eggs that I found in Daredevil Born Again Episode 3. As always, if there are some I missed, let me know in the comments. Starting off with another tragic episode, we are just getting trauma dumped on us week after week. It's exhilarating, but let's get into the Easter eggs. Starting off, which one I found interesting is kind of an Easter egg, I guess. Both Matt Murdock and Mayor Fisk have bloody cut up knuckles that we saw at the beginning of the episode, which I think is another example of them showing great parallels between the characters and maybe alludes to some violence in the future for both. But keep in mind, we still don't know why Fisk's knuckles are all messed up, but who knows who suffered from whatever he did. I personally would love to know. A little headcanon makes me think that it might involve Punisher, maybe, but you never know. The next one, when Cherry comes to take Nikki Torres to court to serve as Murdock and Kirsten's star witness in the Hector trial, graffiti of the Punisher skull logo can be seen on a nearby wall with the word "triggered." Also keep in mind, this was right after Matt Murdock got into a little bit of a tussle in the men's bathroom with a very triggered cop, so I thought that was kind of funny. But this was obviously done by the supervillain artist that we're going to get to know as Muse, who in the comics started creating art inspired by the vigilantes such as Punisher, Daredevil, all of them. Muse's signature can be seen below the work of art, and the red around the skull is something, because if you know anything about Muse, then you know that he likes to use his victim's blood as the paint in his work. It's dark and twisted and gross, and I like it. Moving on, where we can find another cameo of this drink in the show. A bus stop ad can be seen briefly showing for Pingo Doce, the soda that was first seen in 2008's Incredible Hulk. This is the same soda that got contaminated with Bruce Banner's blood that Stan Lee drank during his cameo. Also, this isn't the first time we've gotten this. I mean, for example, X-Men 97 had Diet Pingo Doce in their show. I like the consistency in this reference. I hope that continues. During the trial, it's confirmed that Hector and his wife have been living with his sister and niece. If you'll remember in the comics or in some of the animated shows, we saw White Tiger and it was actually Ava, not Hector. Ava is Hector's daughter. She took on the amulet when he was killed by Kraven the Hunter. So could they be reworking it to, instead of daughter, it could be niece? Because, I mean, I think they did a pretty good job of not showing any family pictures involving the niece when we were inside their home. So perhaps that's what they're setting up for. I still think it's going to be Jenna Ortega. Just shows up and picks up the amulet. I'm actually really excited for that. So yeah, if you guys think it's might be someone else, let me know in the comments. One of the officers' reports in favor of White Tiger comes from one Officer Morales. And as soon as they said Officer Morales, I clocked it. I said, oh my gosh. I turned to my husband and said, they said Officer Morales. And this poor soul looked at me and said, who? And it's just, it hurts sometimes, you know? But Officer Morales, who could that be? I think it's a reference to Miles Morales, Spider-Man. And it is a pretty common last name, but it's worth noting that Miles Morales' father is a cop in his alternate universe. And there is a version of Aaron Davis and Miles Morales in the MCU, as confirmed in 2017's Spider-Man Homecoming. So, could it be? Moving on, during Matt's argument speaking to Hector's character, he makes sure that the jury understands that the mask doesn't make the man. This is a classic sentiment that's not unlike the lessons Spider-Man learns in Homecoming, as well as the phrase, anyone can wear a mask, which is in the Spider-Verse movies, but that comes straight from Stan Lee. That was his whole thing with Spider-Man. It could be anyone under the mask. The mask is not what matters. It's about the person underneath and the good they choose to represent regardless of what they're wearing. Next one. This episode was emotional and heavy, and spoiler alert, White Tiger is shot and killed the night he's released from Daredevil Born Again episode 3. As soon as they said he was not guilty on all charges, I audibly said, he's gonna die. And I honestly didn't think it would be that soon. I thought we'd be a few episodes away. But no, they wanted us to feel every feeling last night, apparently. This mirrors the comics for when Hector was found guilty during his trial. Attempting to escape custody, Hector is similarly shot right as evidence proving he was innocent was discovered. In the aftermath, his amulet goes to his niece Angela, later on to Ava. So it will be interesting to see if the same happens in the MCU as well. I can see it because so far they've been really sticking to the comic accuracy, especially dealing with White Tiger. This one I was excited to talk to you about. Who killed White Tiger? We all know that it looks to be the Punisher. We saw the logo, wearing all black. But I'm here to tell you I don't think it was. I think we're being set up to think it was. But I think Frank Castle had nothing to do with it because the Punisher isn't a vigilante for hire. He doesn't get hired to take out anyone. He goes against bad guys. That is his thing. Hector was not a bad guy. But what we did see were quite a few cops with the tattoo of the Punisher logo on them. So I think it was a cop, and I think they are setting it up to put the blame on Punisher. Because what has been Wilson Fisk's whole thing? Getting rid of the vigilantes. He has said it many times. He wants them gone. He said that the trial was an absolute miscarriage of justice. So why wouldn't he hire these dirty cops to get rid of the vigilantes? And he blames Frank Castle for it. That's another vigilante down if everyone's out to look for him. So that's my theory. I'm not sure if that was an Easter egg, but that's my theory. So thanks for sticking with me with that one. Last one, and gosh, it's a sad one. During the credits of Daredevil Born Again, episode 3, the tree frogs from the island of Hector's home can be heard chirping. This calls back to when Hector's desire to return to the island beaches of his home and Murdoch's promise that he would. As such, one can only imagine that Hector's death will likely send Murdoch ever closer to donning his mask as Daredevil once more, giving into his rage to face the system that's clearly been corrupted. Those are the Easter eggs I found. I'm sure I missed some, so you have to let me know in the comments, but I do want to take this time to say that Camar de los Reyes did incredible as White Tiger. Although he was there for a few episodes, he still made such a big impression. And I am so sorry he was not here to see it. So, sending so many good thoughts to their family. I hope his family knows how loved his character is. With that being said, those are my Easter eggs. I will see you guys back here next week to go over the Easter eggs again for episode 4. Before that happens, I need you to like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of these. If you feel it in your heart to share this Easter egg video, then you'd be a real hero, in my opinion. Also, don't forget to keep up with everything Nerd Initiative is putting out there. There are so many things: movies, TV shows, comics, collectibles, wrestling, everything. So you can only keep up with it if you like and subscribe. Well, at least subscribe. But if you do like, you're just adding a little razzle to the dazzle there. So have a great day.